know Fat Joe may be wrong on some of his stances. I don't know completely. What the other people are doing is they're on code with their community. And yo, what up, what up, what up, what up? This TEX STYLES, and right now I'm doing some homework, and I'm watching and listening to some videos as I do some homework. Starting off with the Adley Carter drama with her mama, now her sister's online, and the Shelly lady, and things of that nature. And one thing I wanted to point out was that amidst all the craziness that's going on, the young girl who calls herself Adley Carter, or the young woman, says that she's having a virtual march for missing children across the country, at least to my knowledge, right? Maybe across the world even. So what I did was I looked up the information and I came across a channel, and dude was playing the video, and it was the march. It was the virtual march. So if you look up Adley Carter virtual march, it'll come up. So I fast forwarded to like an hour and some change in, and it went to New York. And it hit me that I never really looked into the situation of New York, and could I be walking around these children as we speak type of thing, you know what I'm saying? And more or less people are concerned with the drama between her mama, and this other thing. And I'm wondering, is this all a way to take away from what she's doing? Because I can remember years ago online, an Abe Finkelstein, whether the conversation was real or not, it felt like it was real to me, right? Where Abe Finkelstein was being interviewed, and he said that people were being kidnapped and sold and this, that, and the third. There's a whole lot of craziness that could be going on, and it won't make sense. And you'll sound like Adley Carter if you go to try to talk about it, right? Especially if you're on drugs, especially if you're a young girl, you know, whatever the case may be, drugs or even weed, whatever the case may be, pills, whatever. So it might sound crazy, the things that you would say, because what your mind is thinking about. See, like right now, I'm thinking about if what Abe Finkelstein is saying is true. Let's just say someone was kidnapped, God forbid, right? And taken into Hollywood, and now that they're burning all the things down, could they not be burning these people? You know? So it gets really deep. And then people will take that and then flip it and say, oh, she's talking about people got burned. She know about this, that, and the third, and say it in such an acquiescence kind of way that'll throw everybody off. Yeah, I know you can't see me. This is not what, you're not supposed to see me right now. I'm just thinking and talking about some stuff, you know, so what's good with you and you, salute to you. I'm just thinking. And I'm playing this stuff, and that was the first thought. If you missed what I was saying, just to reiterate, the young lady, Adley Carter, had a virtual march while her mom's is online talking about she need to get away from this crazy lady that took her away. She really had a virtual march online. And that virtual march is saying that they are missing children out here. So anybody who's speaking against that right now got to be crazy, in my opinion. You know, so why is everything else a big issue now? Yeah, I've heard that she said this crazy stuff. I might have even seen her say crazy stuff. But what if she's saying the crazy stuff just to bring attention to herself about some of the real stuff that goes on? You know what I'm saying? Because right now she said, look, my mama gonna be online. It's gonna be a distraction and take away from the children. And she's literally online having a virtual march, talking about the children, showing you faces, showing you people. I'm looking at this shit like, yo, this is crazy. You know, because this shit happens every day. You know what I'm saying? So that was the first thing. The next thing was the stuff about Fat Joe, which is a little lighter subject. And that's what I was just listening to just now. Some dude, drummer, 1980s YouTube channel, where he's talking Corey Holcomb and Craig Facts destroy Fat Joe. So that's the next subject in there. So yeah. All right, so let me check this out and see what's going on.
And that's what the FBA is trying to establish in our community is that, nigga, we need to be on code. You know what I mean? Like, when it's time for them to...
And when it comes to FBA, I'm going to just say that it to me, it sounds crazy to think, because, like let me bring some of this back. It was sounding nuts to me.
But you're not going to claim blackness when it's convenient.
I'm glad I brought it back to right there. When is it ever convenient to claim black? So let's bring it back some more, because that's not gonna be my next video. But I gotta make another channel or something, or segment the channel for different stuff, because this is crazy.
We don't have no degrees. We drug pushers.
All right, hold on.
Stolen from culture in the world. And I had to laugh today. And then also Busta Rhymes, things that we have tapped, like, you know, he fight black people that were from here. Foundational Black America. I've been looking online. I see Fat Joe had something to say where people in the FBA are against what he said. Yeah, I don't know what he said. I don't either. So basically, this is like, to sum it up, the FBA, they do racist work, though. So basically, us being black people that were from here, we are the most stolen from culture in the world. People steal everything we do, the way we dress, our music, just countless things that we fought for, from rights to whatever we've contributed has been taken, and people don't like to give us credit. So the FBA, they just basically stand on business. Anything that anybody tries to steal, like in a culture vulture type of way, they be online and they smash and they check people. And Tariq Nasheed is one of the top speakers of the FBA. As far as, like, he fights for us. So it's a just thing that they do. But Fat Joe being from Brooklyn and being a rapper.
Okay, Fat Joe's not from Brooklyn, man. Okay, Fat Joe is not from Brooklyn. He's from the Bronx.
Is one of the top speakers of the FBA. As far as, like, he fights for us. So it's a just thing that they do. But Fat Joe being from Brooklyn and being a rapper, a lot of black people or people of African descent who don't necessarily identify as being who aren't FBA, foundational black people from America, they basically smash on the fact that, hey, you're Jamaican or you're Puerto Rican, but you're not one of us because you don't accept us as one of you. So the things that we have started and the things that we have captained.
That's the part I don't understand. I don't get it.
You need to fall in line and pay respect where respect's due. And what happened with Fat Joe is the rap thing. So Fat Joe was saying that Puerto Ricans started hip hop. And right. And then also Busta Rhymes was saying Jamaicans started hip hop because of Kool Herc being the first DJ. So that's not a correct statement. That's an incorrect statement. Hip hop was started a long time ago by foundational black people during the bebop movement in the 30s. There's been elements of hip hop that existed far before hip hop, but what happened in the early 70s is when hip hop became a culture. And so that's the argument, because hip hop is counterculture. It basically was started because we weren't given an opportunity in mainstream music. So the FBA has been smashing on Fat Joe and anybody that is trying to take credit for something that was started by us, people who were descendants of slaves or whatever, however you want to say it. So, and one of the people who speak highly, who go hard for it is DeWine Brown.
All right, so there was not just people who was from America who was slaves, though. So none of that to me identifies just people who were like what. Let me let it keep playing, because it's very difficult to explain utilizing correct terminology, so to speak. Because if you're using incorrect terminology, then it's just you're going to be in a world of chaos and just assume that you understand whatever's being said. And I don't think that we are using the correct terminology. So it's a world of confusion going on right now when it comes to this whole subject and topic.
He's really an advocate of it. He goes hard. He be going in on a lot of people, you know what I mean? But it's a big argument because, when it comes down to it, a lot of black people who aren't foundationally black as far as being from America, they be all...
And then America's only United States. What about Central and South America? Those Americas don't count, you know? So I guess they don't count, right? So we're only talking about the continental U.S. If you're not from the continental U.S. going back to when? Slavery times? Is that what we're talking about?
For the fight, according to the FBA, when it comes to taking the resources that we fought for, but when it comes down to it, they separate and they identify with what they are when it comes down to it.
All right, so what were the other people doing who had relatives at that time when America was being formed? Were they not fighting for, what were y'all fighting for? Yeah, like, what's going on? What are we talking about here?
You know what I mean?
Right, so they were basically checking them.
They don't really with us like that.
But you're talking about them. They were checking Fat Joe.
So they were checking Fat Joe. They checked Busta Rhymes. They checked a lot of people. I'm talking about like... I know everybody. Craig Facts in the building. I would take that explanation, but I'm going to just add on, guys. What really started this from the get-go, from the onset, is we was talking about reparations at first, right? Wasn't pinpointing anybody, wasn't singling out anybody. Then Tariq Nasheed was holding Twitter spaces. They was talking about immigration, not black immigrants, immigration in general. Follow me? Okay. So there was a lot of people from the diaspora started coming into his spaces, talking about we was hating and we baby mamas, we uneducated, we don't have no degrees, we drug pushers, so forth and so on, guys. Everybody kind of started looking around like...
I had a little commercial and interaction.
The hidden fees or long.
All right.
These people here acting like the opposite. People from Somalia, Nigeria, Ethiopia, the Haitians, different places in the diaspora. So black, who are these people? A close examination. You start looking around, and a lot of people in politics are from these places.
See, here we go with that word too, diaspora. I don't like no words really that come off and start with die. All right? What does that mean? Let me look that word up. What is diaspora? I'll dive into this word. People who have moved away from their original homeland. See what I'm saying? This is an all Africa based bull to me. I don't know about Africa in regards to my own lineage. So I'm definitely not FBA. Because if you saying that you gotta be foundationally black, American, but have African foundations, that don't even add up to me. Because what are you saying? That is nuts to me. Because a diaspora is people have moved away from their original homeland, right? Or let me use some more. Let me look into this some more. Shared identity. Despite being spread out, they maintain strong sense of connection to their origins. This could be through shared culture, language, religion, or history, or combination of these links to homeland. Often, There are ongoing connections to the homeland, whether it's through remittances, money sent back, visits, or maintaining cultural practices. So do they mean the African diaspora? Because you would have to show me where my African relatives are on either side of my bloodline, if you will, because I haven't yet found it. And I'm one of the most researched in my lineage at the moment. And even in those who are doing more research and have done more research than me, like as far as genealogy, I haven't seen Africans in there at all. I've seen Europeans, and some might say, "Oh, if you've seen Europeans, then that means African." How we can't say that. See, we can't be assuming. This is not the era of assuming anything. So I'm not assuming that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going by word of mouth, and word of mouth told me and showed me a lot of things, and I'm like, wow, I didn't know all this. And then I do research as well, and the research confirms what I'm seeing. So, you know, I can't really relate. And then on top of that, the foundation of the country, these places that they want to separate today were all united. And I'm not talking about like a Pangea. I'm not necessarily a believer of Pangea. I'm talking about the South in particular, a lot of the East Coast, and the islands, and some of the islands. Some of these places were governed and controlled by the same governing people, the same forces. So what are we talking about? It's just you believe that you're different. You're not really different. You don't even see that you're not different. You just displaced. You don't even know. Like we might have relatives. We might have a whole gang of relatives living in a whole region. Like say if you consider yourself Jamaican, what if you knew that you had a whole bunch of family that lived in South Carolina just the same way y'all lived in Jamaica, and you never met not one of them because you never been to South Carolina, and they never been in Jamaica. But 300 years ago, or whatever, or however so it was ago, when Jamaica was being ran by, I believe his name was Littleton. How you know that they wasn't people on that boat from South Carolina that just stayed over in Jamaica? So they not Americans. They not foundational Black Americans. You know what I'm saying? Oh, nah, because you know what we talking about. You know when you grow here, you have that certain culture. What certain culture? Fried chicken? And I'm not trying to be funny, but what culture are we talking about? Fried chicken? Because if that's your culture, who want that? Because what fried chicken had done for you? Would you have fried chicken restaurant? Because I know fried chicken has done for people who own fried chicken restaurants and people who own farms with chickens and people who own licenses or patents that make things that look like chicken for you to consume, because most of us is just consumers. So what are we talking about here? This whole thing about foundational Black America is crazy, because Black is not even a race, it's a color. So when he talking about, let me play what he was talking about, because this dude right here, let me go back.
A crime. Oh, I'm Black. Those days are far gone. That's in the past. That's water under the bridge. We not doing that any longer. We're not doing that any longer, guys. If you gonna be Jamaican or Haitian or Ghanaian or wherever you're from, it doesn't matter where you're from. To be honest with you, we're not against you being from where you say you're from. But you're not gonna claim Blackness when it's convenient, is what we saying.
When is it ever convenient to claim Blackness?
Either you gonna be down nothing else, nothing more. We don't want you speaking for us. That's what we saying. We don't want you as our representatives.
And what? In regards to what? What are you talking about?
We understand that you have a split tongue at the end. You tell truth and lies. Huh? You have a dual allegiance. Huh? You not aligned with us when it really come down to the pace.
See, this is the foolishness I'm be talking about. This is foolishness.
That's what we saying. All right? So, Fat Joe opened up his mouth and he put his foot in it. His crooked leg. Let me stop. When he put his foot in his mouth. Okay? But we gonna get to him in just a minute. Let's listen to that Corey Holcomb. Shout out to Craig Facts.
Uses black for what they can get out of it.
Facts.
Black people, since the beginning of the world, they use us for what they can get from us.
Right.
But they act like we're nothing.
Right.
I know that.
See, that's
I'm
different.
talking about even.
That's different. See,
Like,
dude
what-
acting like
what
they
is
got the
Busta
same
Rhymes?
point as Corey Holcomb. And no. You gotta be very, you gotta listen with a surgical ear, yo. You're not saying the same thing. Corey kind of said what he said in the beginning, but I think, listen, let me listen again.
The beginning of the world, they use us for what they can get.
Facts.
Back.
Hold on.
Gonna get to him in just a minute. Let's listen to that Corey Holcomb. Shout out to Craig Facts.
Uses black for what they can get out of it.
See, he said people use black for what they can get out of it. Now that's subjective. Very subjective.
Facts.
Black people, since the beginning of the world, they use us for what they can get from us.
Right.
But they act like we're nothing.
Right.
I know that. I'm talking about even like what is Busta Rhymes?
Jamaican.
Jamaicans, Puerto Ricans, they're black when it works.
Right.
Black.
No, not when it works. No, when does it not work? I don't get that. When does it not work?
They act like they're more. Not all. Some people know who they are and where they come from.
Right.
But the black people who were taken over there to Spain and turned into what they get turned into.
Right.
I mean, do you know what I mean when I say that?
Nah.
All the slave ships didn't come to America.
Yeah, they want to.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me pinpoint
No, I don't wait. Let's go.
something that Corey just said. He said the black people that got turned into what they got turned into. What Corey's saying, they was black people that was colonized by the Spanish guys. And you have some Negroes, listen to what I'm about to say. You have some Negroes out there that would claim Spanish. I'm Spanish, I ain't black. That's a language, idiot, if you didn't know.
What? Wait a minute. So what is black, bro? This is what I'm saying. What is black? Black is not a language. Black is not a race. Black is a color. Spanish is an actual race. There is a place called Spain. So just because somebody called himself Spanish, and you in this context, it's safe to assume that he's talking about someone who could be seen as a Puerto Rican or Dominican, light skin, more of a yellowish complexion, let's just say, right? He talking about someone that look like that saying I'm Spanish, or even a black person, alleged black person, brown skinned person saying I'm Spanish. If they from Spain, then they Spanish. Or they might say I'm a Spaniard if that's the case, right? Because we gotta separate the two, right? But you saying that that's a language, bro? What is black?
It's a language. That's about like saying I'm an Englishman because I speak English.
Well, you say you're an American. What do you call yourself? And that's the issue here, for real.
Let me say that again, cause some of y'all kind of
Nah, you.
Do I look like an Englishman to you?
Do you not look like an Englishman? What does an Englishman look like? Come on, bro. This is the ignorance of this whole conversation.
Okay then, I'm still a Negro.
A Negro, an Englishman can't be a Negro. A Negro could be from anywhere on earth. Where could a Negro not be from? Could there not be an English? Can there not be a Negro Spaniard? Could there not be a Negro Englishman? What is a black man? Could it be a Negro black man? And then what would that then mean?
I'm a black man at the end of the day.
Oh, and what does that mean? Because you say it a certain kind of way, it's supposed to mean something. What does that mean?
What do I classify it as? Black.
And what does that
Negroid.
mean? Negroid. What does that mean?
Spanish is not a race.
Okay, Negroid is a race. Okay, so Spanish might not be a race. So
But some of y'all have Stockholm syndrome. You are in love with your captor, the person that got you down on your knees, big.
a Negroid. Let me look up the word. He said he's a Negroid. They use that? Oh, I just looked it up. So it's an outdated term and considered an offensive term. It was part of an outdated racial classification system that divided humans into three groups: Negroid, Caucasoid, and Mongoloid, right? So when he says Spanish, there could be Caucasoid, Spanish people, Negroid, Spanish people, Mongoloid, Spanish people. I was in Panama, and I've seen Panamanians that speak Spanish that are Caucasoid. I've seen Panamanians that speak English that are Mongoloid. I've seen Panamanians that are Mongoloid that speak Chinese, that speak Spanish and English. I've seen Panamanians that are Negroid that speak English and Spanish. So what are we talking about? Can you have a black Caucasoid? What about a black Mongoloid? For sure could have a black Caucasoid, right? Because they have black people from the Caucasus Mountains. Okay.
And then grab them and got your genoflect the minute, bend the knee. Some of y'all are in love with your oppressor.
Not everyone.
Like, I don't know who Fat Joe thinks he is, but do you know where your roots come from? Where everybody's roots come from?
Actually, Fat Joe.
Africa.
Yeah.
How do you know that? How do we know that everybody's roots come from Africa?
Fat Joe is
Do
different.
you know that?
Yeah.
Let me write that in the chat. How do we know that everybody's roots come from Africa? I would like an educated answer. True. I don't want to, people might come at me crazy. At 12:58, Corey says all people roots are from Africa. How did we come to this information? How do we know this to be true? That's all. Let me see what comes up from there. See if somebody messaged me. You know what I'm saying?
He knows that. He knows that. But at the end of the day, it goes down to Dr. Claude Anderson's definition of racism. His definition of racism is the competition for wealth and resources between groups of people. So even though Fat Joe may be wrong on some of his stances. I don't know completely. What the other people are doing is they're on code with their community. And that's what the FBA is trying to establish in our community is that, nigga, we need to be on code. You know what I mean? Like, when it's time for them to form like Voltron and click up and be like, we are whatever we are, whether it's Jamaican, Puerto Rico, wherever they're from, they do it.
Right.
We don't do it. So, and we're allowing them to come in and take resources according to that community. We're allowing them to come in and take resources when we need to put our flag in the dirt and fight. Like, nah, nigga. This, you know what I mean? Nah, bro. It's like a nigga stealing your comedy style. It's like a Jamaican nigga talking about side is an abortion.
Well, that's what they all do. I get stolen from all the time. I just keep coming up with most.
Yeah.
Now everybody talk about broke bitch.
Yeah. But if they said, "Fat, look, I don't know everything about it, y'all, so don't hold me to everything I'm saying." But
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. When I meet you, that's when I really get an idea of who you are.
facts.
When we did Wildin' Out,
Listen at this.
one day Fat Joe was a guest.
Listen.
And Fat Joe said, anybody say something about me, I'm going to bust you in the head with a baseball bat.
You lie.
Nigga, motherfucking a man.
Yeah.
I ain't finna lie on no motherfucker. This is what the man said. And I felt kind of weird when he said that.
Of course.
Because I'm like, he probably not playing.
No, he's not playing.
But why come on that show?
No. Go ahead, D.
But why come on that kind of show to say something like that?
All right.
That's what I was saying. I was like,
You on the wrong show, homie. Then come on, you're supposed to be like, come on with it. Come on,
you with mob action?
roast me. Let's go.
Because that's all it is mob action.
Yeah, that's.
One motherfucker running the world. What it is, some motherfuckers got a mob. And they use their mob to be some who is an enforcer or whatever. So what I'm saying is, when I heard about this, I was like, well, what happened now? Because I don't know what happened. But what I'm saying is this, about how everybody on black people. Because I know we the most hated. We the most hated. It ain't no doubt from my
This
55
conversation going
years
nowhere
on this
fast, though,
planet.
you
There
heard?
was a bitch who was talking about me on
Light
Monkey
bar.
show.